I don't know. I mean, people talk. Does it mean more for State? It mean more for Carolina? Back and forth. But reality is, I think this is a watershed moment for NC State, more so than it is a moment for Carolina to kind of really. It's just a complete example of their season at this point. But it's kind of a watershed moment for Coach Kevin Keatts and the NC State Wolfpack to be able to continue to grow and get better and get this level of success, as well as the North Carolina State fan base. As fickle as they are, as sometimey as they are, it was good to see the North Carolina State fan base kind of sink their teeth in and be able to come back and say, you know what, we on this ride. Let's ride this thing together. So let's be all in. So it was pretty good to be able to see that from those guys. But speaking of Jarkel Joyner talking about transferring to NC State and playing in this big game atmosphere.
It was amazing, man. Like I said, God blessed me to do that, make shots, and my teammates and my coaches trusted me, and I made a couple shots today.
Did you ever imagine that before you transferred here, you'd be standing today having beaten UNC and Duke?
Most definitely, that's why I transferred here, to play big games like that. We're always confident in our team and what we bring to the table as one, and that's why I came here, to win games like this.
What kind of it's not like you guys needed this game in a way with your resume, but you have this to add to it. I mean, kind of what does this do for the trajectory of this team going forward?
Like I said, man, UNC a stepping stone to where we seen in the tournament. I feel like we got to keep winning, of course, but I feel like if the season ended today, we'll be in there. So we just got to keep fighting. Like I said, we got a big one on Wednesday against Wake Forest, and got to keep fighting.
Man, the place went crazy. The place went crazy as they went on that quick run. Jarkel Joyner being a part of that, breaking that open.
Yes.
You got some sound from that play-by-play from that? When
gets a step on Morcell. Burns comes over to help. Forces the miss. Smith with numbers throws it up. And the slam by Joyner. Poked away by Burns. Ross, can he track it down? He does. To Morcell. Everything going NC State's way.
They call a timeout in the play. I don't think you can hear yourself in there, I'm sure.
Right.
I'm sure. You got sound from that during that
Throws
timeout?
it up.
I mean, it was all going their way.
It was
within a matter of seconds. It was like.
But honestly, a lot of that goes back to what we were talking about earlier. It was, I think, just some of the miscues and just the turnovers by Carolina is what assisted with that run. Mm-hmm. Because quiet as it kept, I'm watching the game. I mean, they missed a lot of interior shots driving to the basket between Jarkel and Traquavion during one or two of those runs. They missed quite a few of those shots that I think they could have blown the game open a lot earlier, and they didn't. And I think what helped turn it around was the fact that Carolina just made some really inopportune turnovers at the wrong times, and they led to baskets on the other end.
Absolutely.
It's going to sound very cliche because I know it's easy to say when you're playing on your home court, but I think the crowd really helped too. I mean, a concern of mine was how much would the fan base be in it, because of what took place the night before across the street.
A lot of activities going on the whole weekend.
I was kind of concerned. And to start the game, it wasn't the typical NC State Carolina crowd as far as
really
everybody was standing up the whole time, and it's loud from start to finish. It would only get loud when NC State would knock down a shot or Carolina would force a timeout, and then finally when that 7-0 run happened, it's like the build-up finally took place. And Kevin Keatts even said, after Grant hit that three, or to start whatever play started the run, he said he started calling out 7 to 10 plays, and his players were literally looking at him on the sideline saying, "We can't hear what you're calling." So he finally just said, "Forget it, just play, just play basketball." And that's what NC State did.
Basketball.
That's odd. I would have thought that with all the activity going on this weekend, it would have been a packed house over there, but.
It looked like
it was a packed house.
It was a packed house. I'm just saying it was mellow to start off with.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't like consistently
people, they had to catch
loud.
their breath. They were tired. You ever talk about that? Yeah, they've been running so hard the whole weekend.
Even people in press row were like, I literally left here last night at like 3 a.m. and I'm right back here this morning at 10.
Yeah.
Well, it was worth it. It was good to see. It was good to see the Wolfpack come out strong. Good to see the Wolfpack come out and have a great performance. Great to see Jarkel Joyner, grad transfer from University of Mississippi, come in and do what he does.
At Mississippi.
Yeah.
In my cricket letter.
Yeah. Well, you know, yeah. He's got an interesting story though, but because they live not too far from Ole Miss, and his dad, you know, was a barber there. But the reason he ended up in California had nothing to do with the fact that he wasn't recruited. It was his dad and his best friend who took the head coaching job out in California.
Okay.
And Jarkel went to play for him. But yeah, it's an interesting story.
That is. That's a good story.
Interesting story.